On a warm spring night in 1983, a woman, Diane Downs, came speeding into the emergency entrance of a hospital in Oregon. Her car screeched to a stop. Doctors and nurses rushed outside. What they found was horrifying. 3 children sat inside the vehicle. All of them had been shot. One little girl was already dead. The other 2 were fighting for their lives. Behind the wheel was their mother, terrified, panicked, covered in emotion. This is the disturbing true story of Diane Downs, a mother who begged for sympathy, and a case that would reveal one of the most shocking betrayals imaginable. In 1983, Diane was raising 3 children, 8-year-old Christy, 7-year-old Cheryl, and 3-year-old Danny. To many people, Diane Downs seemed charismatic. She was attractive, confident, outgoing, the type of person who could easily command attention whenever she entered a room. But those closest to her often described something different, a woman obsessed with getting what she wanted, regardless of the consequences. At the same time, she had become deeply involved with a married man, a man she desperately wanted a future with. There was just one problem. He reportedly made it clear he did not want children. For most people, that would have been the end of the conversation. For Diane, it may have become the beginning of something much darker. On May 19, 1983, Diane was driving down a remote road near Springfield, Oregon. Her children sat quietly in the car. The sun had disappeared. Darkness surrounded them. According to Diane, a strange man suddenly stepped into the road. She stopped the car. The man approached the car and he demanded the vehicle. When she refused, he opened fire on her children. Bang, bang, bang. 5 times the bullets tore through the car. Children screamed, glass shattered. Chaos exploded in seconds. The gunman fled into the darkness. It sounded like a parent's worst nightmare. Diane claimed she immediately drove toward the nearest hospital. When she arrived, doctors faced a devastating scene. Cheryl was dead. Danny had suffered catastrophic injuries. Christy was critically wounded. The situation was so tragic that investigators initially focused on finding the mysterious gunman. But almost immediately, strange details began to emerge. Detectives interviewed Diane repeatedly. The more she spoke, the more uncomfortable they became. Her behavior didn't match what they expected. She appeared unusually calm. At times, she seemed more concerned about herself than her children. Some officers felt she was performing grief rather than experiencing it. Then there was her story. The details kept shifting. Timelines changed. Descriptions changed. Critical information seemed to appear only after questioning. Meanwhile, detectives examined the crime scene. The evidence created serious problems for Diane's account. The physical facts weren't matching the story she told. Investigators began asking a dangerous question. What if there had never been a gunman at all? While police searched for answers, one child remained in critical condition. Christy Downs. Doctors worked tirelessly to save her life. Weeks passed, then months. Eventually, Christy regained the ability to communicate. Investigators approached carefully. She had experienced unimaginable trauma, but what she revealed would change everything. Christy remembered the shooting, and according to investigators, her memories pointed directly at one person: her mother, the person who should have protected her, the person sitting only a few feet away when the shots were fired. Suddenly, the entire case shifted. The grieving mother was no longer viewed as a victim. She became the prime suspect. Detectives dug deeper into Diane's personal life. What they uncovered painted a troubling picture. Witnesses described her obsession with the man she loved. Investigators learned how desperately she wanted that relationship to continue, and they discovered evidence suggesting her children may have been viewed as obstacles. Prosecutors built a theory, a horrifying one, They argued that Diane believed her children stood between her and the life she wanted, a life without responsibility, without limitations, and without motherhood. According to the prosecution, she made a choice that night, a choice that would leave one child dead, two others permanently scarred, and an entire nation stunned. The trial quickly became a media sensation. People struggled to comprehend the allegations. Could a mother really shoot her own children? Jurors listened carefully. Witnesses took the stand. Experts analyzed the evidence. Investigators detailed inconsistencies in Diane's story. Then came testimony about Christie's recollections. The emotional impact was overwhelming. The defense fought aggressively. They argued investigators had misunderstood the evidence. They maintained Diane was innocent. But prosecutors presented a powerful narrative, one built on motive, behavior, and the testimony of a surviving child. After weeks of arguments, the jury reached its decision. Guilty, Diane Downs was convicted. She received a life sentence plus additional years. For many observers, justice had finally been served. But the story wasn't over. Most convicted killers disappear into prison. Diane Downs did not. In 1987, she achieved something almost impossible. She escaped. One day, she simply vanished. A convicted child killer was now on the run. The news sparked immediate panic. Authorities launched a massive manhunt. For 10 days, no one knew where she was. Then investigators found her, hiding hundreds of miles away. The escape only reinforced what many already believed. Diane had spent years believing rules did not apply to her. Even prison walls weren't enough to change that. She was returned to custody, where she remains today. The Diane Downs case continues to fascinate and disturb people decades later. Not because it involved a sophisticated criminal mastermind, not because it featured an elaborate conspiracy, but because it forced society to confront an uncomfortable reality. Sometimes the greatest threats are not strangers lurking in the shadows. Sometimes they are the people we trust the most. For investigators, one detail remains especially haunting: a dying child, a surviving witness, and a mother who insisted she was innocent while evidence slowly dismantled her story. The public searched for a mysterious gunman, a monster hiding somewhere in Oregon. But according to the jury, the real monster never fled the scene. She drove herself there. For more true crime stories based on real events, subscribe and join us for the next case where the truth proved far stranger and far darker than fiction.